The takeaway from the next exercise should really be that you can select objects, see the temporary dimensions, and use them to modify the positioning of something or the initial placement of something. So if you set it up that you're using the 5-inch partition wall and it's going to go up to level 2, you can then hover over the right hand side where the two walls meet in the center and then imply the direction and type in whatever value you want. So say the 15 feet, so you're going to go in that direction 15 feet. This is still kind of drawing the way you would in a generic drafting program like AutoCAD, where you're implying a direction from something else. I'm going to point for the next one along and say go 7 feet, come straight down. Bottom left hand corner, imply the direction up the way, type in whatever value you want. It initially puts in like a 10 foot, so you can see later how to change it. And when you pick it, you can see the temporary dimensions, and then the dimensions attached to that object can be edited to make it 7 foot. That's to the center of the wall. If I want, I can just find the intersection of those two walls, imply a direction and say put that a certain distance along. I eventually wants this to be 10 feet by 7 feet, but wants it to be to the inside face eventually, not the defaults which we're drafting using the center of the wall. So if you drop in real dimensions, these become editable when you pick the objects that they're attached to. It means that you've got a predefined place that you can go to enter the values that you want. So there's the actual project, and I can get rid of the illustration that I had there. That's kind of what was there initially, and then I'm going to supplement it a little bit. The important concept here is that when you have a permanent dimension, it becomes editable when you pick the object that it's attached to, and then you can derive the geometry from those dimensions. I'm just going to delete them and go back to where we've got approximately the shape that we want, the plan that we wanted, but not exactly. The takeaway from the second part of this exercise is really the fact that you can modify where the witness lines go in a wall. So when you see the temporary dimension, clicking on a witness line, you can force it to go to the inside, the outside, or the center. And we want this to be to the inside faces. You can also just drag it onto the object that it's supposed to be measuring to, and then change the dimension to make that 10 feet. In the other direction, you're picking the wall you want to move. You're looking for the temporary dimension, and you're able to click on the witness line to adjust it so it's showing inside faces, and then changing that to 7 feet. You should also know that if you tab over an object where there's line work underneath your cursor and then you hit the tab, you can find the face of that wall, and you could put in real dimensions, so you're showing the 10 foot inside measurement of the room and the 7 foot. And then because these are real dimensions, they will become temporary when you select the object they're attached to. That's often, especially as your model gets more complex, that's often the easiest way to do it, because you can never really tell where temporary dimensions are going to show up. I just deleted them, but again, it's the idea of driving the model through the use of the dimensions. You can look at it in 3D and you can shade it just to see the model. The idea of the shading is that you can see there is no floor, that you're seeing through to the white background. You've just got wall objects.